position where we start being the confident ones, and we're just at this point continuing our fight on a much easier path because we've done it all. And watching these guys squirm, it's a good feeling. Watching them for a change, wonder what's going to happen to their investment. And we're not doing anything illegal. We're pulling the legal part. That's the crazy thing about it. When it's going to work the way it's supposed to work. And that's all we're asking for, isn't it? We just want it to work the way you put it up to work. You say unlimited loss? Let's see what unlimited loss looks like. We've never had that because they've never forced anyone to close. Will they here? Will that be the outcome? I think it is. I don't see how they don't have a choice. I say that because there's the other day it was yesterday I think or the day before, a BBYQ guy said he had $2 million in his account and it went away, and it was a tweet. It was there and it was gone, and it matched the BBYQ. It's like a settlement for $100, and I go, okay. But it was there and it was gone for him. And he saw it and he called his broker, and the broker don't know anything about it. Just happened to have a few million in his account. And I go, well, that makes sense. It's a settlement. How do you settle our situation when they owe us still? The company's still alive. They can't just seize our property and give us money. It doesn't work that way. I don't believe the other side's here because I think they're only here because of a trading situation. I don't see any other reason. No, one sec.
What can I get for you?
Yeah, large coffee, 2 cream.
You said large with 2 cream?
Yeah.
Got it. Anything else?
That's it.
It's going to be $261. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I believe a trading situation is the reason the other side's here, because that makes sense to me. That's logical. Because why would you waste time if they thought? Again, I don't know if these guys are paid or what. I believe they're short. Because I think everyone's fighting for their investment. I think everybody is fighting for their investment. And I don't know how that works, but you may have a long and short position, I guess. Maybe it does have 100 shares or 200 shares, but has a bigger short position. I don't know why someone would do that. It's like betting I don't know. To me, it's like going to the roulette table and betting on black and red at the same time. I'm not sure if that's a strategy or what. But I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know how you don't like your odds right now. I don't know how you don't like what you see. Hold on. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
You can keep the coins. Thanks. Thank you. Invected points. You heard me say it.
Here you go.
Thank you. Um. Anyway. Yeah. So when it comes to waking up every day now and dealing with the situation and watching what's going on, it just seems to have a different feel, doesn't it? Have a different tone. The talk is changing. Corruption is the topic. Agency by agency. They're walking through the government and knocking on doors. And they're going there and saying, hey, let me see what you've been doing over here. Let me see what you got going on. You can't hide no more. You can't call us racist or just use any excuse to not open the books because they're just numbers, aren't they? The numbers tell the story. There's kind of like the money tells the story. You can't lie once you open up the books. That's kind of the point, isn't it? That's kind of the point of MMTLP. And maybe that's a great talking point to your representatives. Do you see what's going on right now? Do you see when they open up the books and they see the mass problem? You can't say we're here to help or whatever. It actually exposes stuff. And that's all we ask for. We ask exactly for what they're doing. Can you imagine if Trump didn't win? But we don't have to imagine it because he won. Did anybody think this was going to happen? Just the other day, someone asked me, would I put $1 million on if Trump was going to let these guys skate off and do I trust that this administration was going to fix our problem? And I said, yeah, I'd put a bet on Trump. Why would I bet against the fucking guy? He's a winner. But he's there for his legacy, and this is his legacy. He will be remembered forever. This is his legacy. Do people look mad? He's being praised for what he's doing. When he gets to the retail part of this thing, and he starts making money for businesses and people, he will be remembered. So yes, I'll put my money on Trump because Trump seems to always win. What he's telling people is not bad. We want to open up the books and look. How do you fight against that? We got people stalling us. But seriously, how do you fight against that? You're not gonna show us the numbers? You're not gonna give us the data? Why? Well, now we are getting a good idea of the why. Now we get it, folks. Now, as a short, do you think they're shaking a little bit? What must the shorts be feeling right now? Now that the fucking books are being opened up and they're seeing a massive mess. If I were short, I'd be shitting my fucking pants. because it don't look good. You can't be confident with the stuff they're fighting and what they're spending money on and the corruption that they've been doing. You can't feel good about being assured in this position. You can't feel good because what's the solution? Giving us $5 a share? Or letting the market play out like it's supposed to? What do you think's going to happen? This is precedence, folks. And I put a video out with Trump talking, and it was a great video of him anyways. I add my shit to it, but the video was basically saying, I believe in an eye for an eye. I believe in revenge. Someone asked him, is revenge sweet? As they're trying to take his presidency, shoot at him. He enjoys it. He enjoys getting the fucking bad guys. Do you think they're shaking? Do you think they're saying, we're good here? Or are they saying, what the fuck did I walk into? Now these people got the backing that they need. Maybe they could have swept this thing under the rug. Maybe they could have did some type of settlement. But now with us, maybe we're the ones they say, you know what? Let's show them. You don't put people through this kind of pain. 74 reps signed a letter. One letter. We have a lot more than those signatures. Multiple times. Do you think that they're working on a way to make this thing not hurt so bad, the economy? They're saving money every day now. They're shutting down stuff. They took what was the number? 14,000 to 200 and something for the USAID. I'm not even sure they're not going to shut that thing down. It's happening. Everything we've been fighting for, even though we weren't fighting for this. Everything is happening before our eyes. And it's glorious. How do you not wake up every day and look at what they found? It's actually disgusting, some of the stuff. It's like, why would you do that? Why are you betting against America? Why are you pushed? Why would you do it? Everyday citizens, people that walk in your office and you look at them and you see their struggle and their hurt, knowing what you're doing and what you're allowing. And that goes for both sides. I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm more pissed off at the Republicans that were in the House that ruled the majority of the House and the banking or the oversight. These people with subpoena powers that are saying, "Oh my God, this is so good. Oh yeah, we're all behind you, Trump." It's like, go blow it out your ass. You had the power. You chose not to use it. You chose to be like everybody else. It took a private citizen with a lot of money and some power behind them through Trump. It took the president to say, hey, private citizen, go ahead. Go ahead. Take a look. See what the fuck's going on. They're all bitching. We didn't elect him. We didn't elect Musk. Oh my God. as they're walking in saying, "Oh, you spent this much? You spent $20 million on a Sesame Street thing?" They're appalled by him having that kind of power. They're not appalled by the Sesame Street thing. It's disgusting. I don't know who you are, but I'll bring you up. Fuck it. What's up? Was it Striker? Spiker. I don't know what I do here. Go ahead, Spiker. Nothing? Spiker. Let's see, go back down. They're gonna bomb my nuts with shit. Move speaker. Move speaker. And block and remove. Crap. Let me know if my nest is bombed with shit. I think it is bad. I can't see my nest. Is it got...
I don't see anything in there. But that striker, I don't know. He's brand new. Not
Yeah, I
from
seen
here.
it once I opened it up. I'm like,
There's a picture of you in your wrestling outfit.
oh,
Yes.
well, that's good. Oh, Lord. Was it a recent picture or back when I was younger? It's a recent one I don't like. Anyway. But there you go. They're here, folks. They're here trying to come in and take a mic and skate and try to get in here. We know you're here. We know, and the other listeners, we know. It's all good. Keep fighting. I like it that way. Keep fighting. I'll bring you up as a co-host. It's insane. I think Dr. E's having issues. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so I can imagine what these shorts are feeling right now, and that lack of confidence they once had. Knowing that this thing's just getting started. How excited are you? Knowing for after 2 years that this is just starting now. I don't know. It's a good feeling. I'm actually, is Phil here? Normally comes in my spaces. It's the only this is the only guy I like that's on the other side. He's the normal guy. I feel bad, but I'm curious if he's as confident now as he was before after seeing all the fucking bullshit that's being uncovered. I'm curious if he's got the same, oh, there's nothing here, thoughts. If you're here, Phil, to grab a mic. I'm curious. After them opening up the... Go ahead.
I was having trouble, Dr. E. I know he may have to check all the way out of X and come back.
Oh, yeah, I brought him back up. He's not there. Okay.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's like Bailey was in my space yesterday. I looked in the comments. I said, "Holy shit, her house is burning down." Oh no, wait, that's the dumpster. I couldn't resist. That's kind of mean.
I believe everyone's fighting for their investment. If they're fighting against us, I believe they're fighting for their investment.
There, I got Dr. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's why, again, that's why I believe there's two sides to this. Let me ask you, Insane, is it possible that people have a long and short position in the stock, or is that like not the way things are when they do it when they're trading?
Well, I can't do it in my Webull. What I can do is I can short it in my Webull, but I can go long on my TD. You know, Webull won't allow you to go both ways.
Like, what's the reasoning for that?
I don't know.
Like, does it make sense to do that, or is that a trader? Is that something a trader would normally do?
Well,
not normally, but maybe more. Would a short advanced trader do something like that?
I would want to do it if I could, because then I could, you know, I'll have my long position regardless. But then if I see it and I think it's going to get shorted down, then I can buy a short and make money on that. But they don't allow it, not in Webull anyway. And TD, as far as I know, they don't. Schwab.
Because the only thing I can think of is you have more of a short position, even though you're against us and say you have shares of MMTLP, and you're saying, yeah, I have shares, and they do have shares in the long position, but their short position is greater than their long position. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So they already made money off their short position, but their liability's still there.
Yeah. Well, if you're trading in nanoseconds or as quick as they can, you could make a lot of money off that. You know, if you're long, but you're shorting too in the same app.
Okay.
I would think as a day trader or a nanosecond trader, I should call it, in the algorithms, you could make a lot of money, but I'm not a market mechanic person.
Right. I was just curious. Because, like I said, I believe everyone's fighting for their biggest part of their investment in this thing.
You bring up a good point. If they thought they won, they'd be gone. If they thought there was a settlement, they'd be gone. But if there was trading, they're trying to shake you out earlier.
Oh, I don't see any personally, and I've always said this. I don't see any other option for them. If they're going to settle this thing, they can't just take your shares and take the company and be gone. You can't. The government can't come in and say, "I'm going to buy the company up," right? Because the government's not involved in it. It's the shorts, and they already offered them 500. Was it 50 million or 500 million? Way back when Berta said no, you're not getting it. They offered to get out of this thing. They said nope, turned it down.
What would happen if Trump came out with something and in the IRS part of it, you know, income tax, as being your short position? Even if you ran it to bankruptcy, you got to pay for your earned income. You have to pay taxes on it, and you know it's almost borderline on paying taxes on unearned. What was I doing there? Unrealized gains. Well, that wouldn't be good for them, would it?
That I have no idea. If that would, yeah. Maybe he lowers the capital gains tax to create more investors and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how all that. Again, I don't know how that works. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for this situation. I've learned a hell of a lot, but I'm still, when I hear some people talk, like 100 and Kurtis and you, and it's like I don't, I'm gonna do the same, buy high and sell low. That's what I used to do.
Well, funny.
It seemed like that way anyway.
I was listening to Van earlier, and he tripped over something, and I heard about this. Oh God, almost 2 years ago. It's like if you do the third FOIA request and it's been not accepted, the third one, in a lot of cases, they're supposed to turn it over the third time on the same request. So that's we discussed this in the groups.
Oh, the FOIA.
Yeah. You keep getting rejected, and the third one, they're not supposed to reject it. But I don't know, if it's under investigation, they'll just use that. But
Yeah.
so just to give everybody a reason to make out more FOIAs and record exactly how many and what you do.
Glass guy, did you hear that space last night with Mardik?
No.
So I believe the guy's name was Joseph. Very, really smart. Calls the ombudsman, which goes nowhere. He calls his reps, and he's done a lot of FOIAs. And then somebody was texting me last night, and they did again today, that you could do a congressional FOIA. And this guy confirmed that he was able to see that trail that his senator was doing a FOIA. He didn't know about what, but it was like a 24 to 48 hour turnaround.
Oh wow.
So obviously, if we would have tried to do this with the other administration, it's going nowhere. But I mean, I told them, why don't you start with the Freedom Caucus? Because 26 or 54 of those reps signed the open letter. Why not ask them and say, hey, I want a congressional FOIA? Now, you just got to think about the top 3 things you'd want to ask for. And I don't have that answer, and I don't want to broadcast it, obviously. But it's something for people to think about. You could ask your rep for a congressional FOIA.
It's funny because when you say that, it's like, why didn't they go that route? If these tools are there for them, and they're there to work for us, why do we have to? They should be saying, "Oh yeah, I'll help you. We're going to do this for you." I'm tired of hearing we're
going to get help, or we're not going to stop, or every single fucking person is getting exposed. I'm telling you right now. All right. And by the way, I didn't even text you yesterday. I'm waiting for the schedule to get in touch with me with a big influencer, and I don't know how we're going to do it. It's going to be via Zoom on TV, or I have to go to the TV station. I'm not sure, but I'm going to fucking expose people on that thing, and I'm not going to stop one by one.
Well, you see, yeah, I'm doing the same thing as far as reaching out to some people in the back and publicly, inviting people to just, hey, come into space, learn about us, grab a mic. I mean,
even like the thing I'm going to talk about. There's 2.65 over, but we can't track overseas. Well, guess what? When I talked to a guy that graduated #1 in his class at Wharton Business School, he said they basically, the game is they set up foreign LLCs, use a broker and box exemption, basically pass through American brokers and move the shares offshore. So there you go. FINRA's telling you how they play the game. Oh, it's 2.65, but we can't track overseas. But anybody that's in the industry that has half a noodle knows that they set up foreign LLCs and sell the counterfeits through that way. They have ways to figure this out.
what I deal with these reporters is I'll say, look at all these letters that we have. Why would this many people come forward on a stock that doesn't trade? Why would this many people sign a letter on a stock that's never traded if they didn't see a problem? If they didn't see what we seen, why would these people come forward? Take a look at the names and ask yourself that. Then, are you interested in learning more? Do you want to know the story about MMTLP? If we can get this many people to act, and I know we have people saying, "Oh, no one's acting, no one's doing nothing." They've acted. We've got it on in a letter. I know it doesn't. They haven't done anything since that we know of publicly, but they did act. And some of these people that signed think we're crazy. Question is what made you sign that letter? And they can't take it away from us. That's the beauty part of it. They can't walk away from it. They can't blame a Wells notice when a Wells notice has nothing to do with a share count. And the share count right now, with what's going on in the world right now and what's being uncovered by auditing things, and what are they doing? They're looking at the numbers. They're looking at the money. The money tells the story. What we've been asking for? Look at the numbers. That'll tell you everything you need to know. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're opening up the books, and the numbers are the money. What have you been spending the money on? You can tell us all the stories you want. What have you been doing here? $20 million for a Sesame Street thing and this and that. It's like, that's what MMTLP opening up the books would have did. And they couldn't get away from it. You sold what? 1 billion shares, 500 million shares? What did you do here? Where'd you lend all this stuff? Where'd you get this stuff? It will expose everything. And we're watching it happen in real time. Exactly what we're fighting for is happening. That's the beauty of this. Even though they haven't got to us yet, it's happening. So, wait for it to come. Is there? Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. I seen Jana came in and she left, and sure
Oh, I
she's up.
didn't see it.
But yeah, everything we've asked for is as far as showing the freaking numbers, because that will tell you everything, and it's happening in real time. Open up the books, take a look. Then you can't say that you're here to help, or you're here to protect us, or you're here for this, and we're all in the up and up, because the numbers will show it. And people like, oh, Trump's not going to help, and they're not going to expose the market because it's going to affect his legacy. This is his legacy. If you don't think he's going to go down in history for this, you guys are all nuts. This is what he wants. This is it. Expose it all. I don't know how it's going to. He doesn't know what was behind the doors. He had a suspicion, just like we did. Have a suspicion.
Glass guy. Who's your favorite president besides for Clinton? I'm not Clinton. Trump.
Who's my favorite?
Mm-hmm. Besides for Trump.
Reagan.
If you're a Republican. 100%. Yeah. So what's going to happen when I'm on TV and I ask the host that question? Who's your favorite president? One of our shareholders flew this guy and flew him safely. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Flew him safely. We all saw what happened with that helicopter recently. And nobody could help this guy or simply ask for a share count?
Yeah. We have some good people in this. But I ask you, it's like this is exactly everything we've asked for is actually happening in real time, and Trump's going to go down in history for fixing it all or exposing it all. I don't know if he can fix it all. He's going to expose it all. And now our eyes are open, and we can't turn away from it. That's why I say
all they're doing is audit by audit by audit. Hey, how about we do an audit over here?
open up the books. Open up the books. 74 representatives signed a letter to open up the books. Now, do you think they will? If Trump sees that, and I think he's already seen it because it's in his stock, you know. If he sees like we have 74 reps that signed a letter that want to know what's going on here, and one of the letters was, do an audit share count. Do you think, with what you're seeing now, that the possibility of that happening is less or more than it was yesterday? What do you think the shorts are feeling right now? Do you feel like they're more confident or less confident as every day goes by and they open up the books? And I said it yesterday, and Steph was on here. It's like, once you start finding stuff, you don't turn away, right? You're more excited. Hey, you know what? We got to open up more books. We got to go down more rabbit holes, because this is addicting when you start finding the ways.
I mean, these are two actionable things that could happen today. People could call their reps and say, the Doge Committee, Musk, all these other people are doing audits. Can we do an audit for our share count? Can you guys do a congressional for you? I mean, these are two things that you could call or email today. Use their words, use their current events that they're talking about. Everything's about an audit. The Democrats are crying like little babies. God forbid they see where they're hiding all this U.S. aid, foreign money. And that's what I would do. Use the words, the current events. The buzzword right now is audit. We're asking for an audit and ask for a congressional FOIA. Think about what you want to ask for. These are two actionable things you could do today.
Here's one more. Use their signature on a letter that they asked for the audit. There you go. Hey, remember that letter you wrote that said that you wanted an audit? The audited share count? You already signed the letter. You're already for the audit. Now, asking the question. You already signed the letter. You're already for it. You said you were. I got your signature right here. Let me read you number 9 or whatever the number is that says the audit.
That's why I love you. You're like a little pest. I always forget these things. Like a little fucking pest with your little tweets. They're hysterical. But you're right. You're like a fucking pest.
Seriously, it's like that's the beauty part of what we've done. People say, "Oh, nothing's happened. We haven't done nothing. Oh my God, we haven't seen no results." This is what it was for. This is where we get lucky. When preparation meets opportunity. And we've been preparing for 2 years for this moment to arrive, and it's here. You want to get lucky? Luck still doesn't happen without you doing the work. All the work's been done. Grab the letter, read the numbers, and find out which number. I don't even know what number it is anymore. Is it number 9 for the audited share portion of it?
Yeah, I think there was a total of 13.
All right, yeah,
and,
same thing, yeah.
9. And Norman's only focused on one thing.
So grab number 9 and read it to the guy that signed the letter. Say, hey, this letter you signed's got number 9 in here. It says an audited share count. What do you think? You ready to get on board now? I got 74 of your buddies that says that you all want this.
In total, it's like 110 with all the letters, I think.
Well, some signed it twice and 3 times, and
No, but there's other letters. There was like 34 on this and 28 on that. It's up there.
But again, you have reps that have signed like Huizenga. That signed one of the first letters. Signed that's 15 of the House Finance letters. He signed the other one that came out with 74. Then he signed another one that had 40 on there. And I don't know what he's been doing since then, but I think there's another one out there. That's the guy from Michigan who hasn't fucking picked up a damn phone for me or and actually turned down meetings. But he's got his signature all over the fucking place. Maybe you should act now and stop signing your damn name. Here, think about that.
Now, on those other letters, other than the 74, that main letter we put out, was there a significant difference in what was put down, or was it exactly the same as our letter?
I think the first letter with the 15 was, what the fuck's going on here? I think that was like, what the hell's going on here? Why are these people bitching? Can we look into this? Can someone monitor the situation for us? Even though we're on the... it's so funny. It's so stupid. We got so much freaking proof. Here, how about a FOIA? That one's gonna kill. That one's gonna be the when it comes down to it. We have a FOIA. Do you not realize that? We have a FOIA that says they've known about this from the freaking beginning.
Ask your rep for the names on that FOIA. How about that? Ask for a congressional FOIA for whose names are redacted. Maybe the person that says he's never seen or heard about it prior to the halt, Mr. Gensler, under oath, and a Senate and a House Financial Services Committee, maybe his name's there.
How were they able to dodge a FOIA? How the hell did we get it? But how were they able to dodge the FOIA for 2 years? And the thing is that they did a great job of distracting us, because that one, we should have just fucking pounded into the fucking ground. But we're busy getting we were busy digging deep, even deeper, and finding more stuff. The 6490 rule. The videos for the 6490 rule. With the FOIA. I mean, oh my God. It's makes my head hurt. How much shit we got.
Wouldn't it be nice if the Doge DDers, all those little 18 to 30-year-olds that love computers and love this shit, could like get in touch with our DDers, and when it comes time for Doge to go through the SEC and FINRA, I think shit could happen quickly. We could point them, our DDers could point them right exactly where to start looking.
I don't think the guy even looked that deep. Let me ask you a question. Do you not think that? Imagine right now, what's his name? Elon Musk. Imagine do you think he's salivating to get his hands to get into the SEC? Do you think he's salivating on that one? Do you think he can't wait? I got a request for Stock Leader. I don't know if he's coming up or what, but I can't.
Yeah, I got him. I think. Yep.
Okay. Well, I must be glitching or something. But can you imagine him? I mean, he must be freaking licking his chops, waiting for everyone to get in position for that one. I don't see who's up, so go ahead and call who's if they got a hand raised or whatever. Oh, there is. Go ahead, Stock.
Yeah, I think one of Elon's little computer minds goes by the name of Big Balls. So maybe we should reach out to Big Balls.
Who's big? I don't understand what that means.
It was I seen it on Twitter yesterday. They were
really?
talking about the name that one of the guys that's working with Elon, one of the kids, his Twitter handle, or he goes by Big Balls.
Oh, okay. That's his alt account?
And they were making fun of it, right? Saying that this is who we got looking at what's happening in the United States, a guy named Big Balls. Yeah, well,
I didn't even realize that. I put a teabag tweet out there. They didn't realize. I think just teabag the SEC and oh man. Go ahead, Jonna.
Sorry, I had to get back to the screen. I posted a couple things in the nest. I'm going into a breakfast meeting now. But make your calls. Hollywood Henry has all your contacts out there. And yes, we've asked Big Balls to look at MMTLP, the SEC, and FINRA. So yes, there are posts out there about that, and I'll find one and post it up in a minute.
Thank you.
You figure it's bigballs@gmail.com or?
Well,
Sounds like he's a little nuts.
Anyways, but yeah, I think he can't wait to get in the SEC after them coming after him, and he's got that video out there of when he talked about them coming after him, and he had to admit to something just to save his company. Remember that video? I seen it again yesterday. He says like holding a gun to a child's head. That's the kind of control they had over him. Do you think he fucking can't wait to get in there to expose these guys? Paybacks are a freaking bitch.
Yeah, in the first months of Tesla, Musk took a fucking beating, court after court after court, and shorts after shorts. I remember all that. That was crazy.
And they went after him. Didn't go after the shorts. He said that too. Didn't go after short sellers. Went after him. A guy that created jobs and trying to create something for the future. The guy's shooting out rockets in the air and bringing them freaking back and landing them. And they're trying to. What was the goal? To put the guy out of business? Was that the goal? To put this man out of business. Why? Just like they did with George. George didn't have the money to do what Elon did. I wish Elon seen him and helped the guy out. Because the innovation was there. The shorts thought they won when they took down MMAT, and I still don't think it's down. I think it's halted right now. I think they did exactly what they did with MMTLP. They put a little halt on them right now. They stalled them because that plane ain't over either. Even though we take more of a precedence as far as because we're stuck in time. I think they got a major. More's coming. I'm not invested in that, but more's coming, and I'm happy for him. So imagine what the shorts are feeling right now. Every day when they wake up and they see more shit being found. What's this here? Oh. Oh, okay. The big balls things is. Did you put that in the nest? I don't know if you put it in the nest. I've seen the DM from Jonna. No one elected big balls. And personally, I voted for big balls. Is big balls Trump? Or is it Musk?
I see Kurtis.
He's
so
like a
Big Balls is
19-year-old
someone.
kid.
Big Balls is someone on Musk's team that is actually part of the audit team,
Oh,
but
okay.
they're going off that they all have big balls. So it's, yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Nobody invited me. Throw Curtis a mic.
Who's Kurtis?
Already done.
Was he new? He's gonna fucking bomb my nest. Just like Stryker this morning.
It's Curtis. What are you talking about?
Never heard of
Good
the guy.
morning. I heard my name. Good morning.
Sounds like a bumper.
Good morning.
What's up, Kurtis?
I heard my name.
Say my name.
I heard my name.
How's it going?
Big balls.
All right. Walked into
I
that
knew
one.
it. I knew it was him.
Hit me right on the chin. Go ahead. What's going on?
It's a good day. It's a very good day.
You said that yesterday.
It's a good day. We are stacking good days together, which is will one day make for the best day. But I'll just tell a very, very quick story, and I know everyone probably rolls their eyes when they hear me say quick story, because what does that mean? But
Somebody order
lunch. Somebody cater lunch. But here's a quick story. Again, revisited some old resources provided to us by FINRA, and there's something about this day, yesterday, February 6th, that is just very interesting. And you can check this if you don't believe me, but on February 6th, 2023, that's when I put out the Yvonne Huber thread. And everybody, if you don't remember, Yvonne Huber is the VP that at FINRA that basically oversees the Form 211 submission process. She also is responsible for short sale reporting. And when I was mad because we weren't getting any responses from FINRA at that point, and they were giving us the runaround for months, that I said, all right, fine, screw it. Let's take the gloves off with them, and we'll actually start calling out these people by name. And when I released that thread of the SEC roundtable and Yvonne's transcript, then the same day, Cromwell Coulson emerges from the cracks in the floor and starts talking, right? On February 6th, 2023. And then fast forward, February 6th, 2024, that's the day that Gary Gensler responds 6 days late to the open letter from Congress signed by 74 members of Congress, right? And FINRA replied 6 days earlier. And people started retweeting that thread, and then I went back and I revisited the SEC roundtable, and then, I had glanced it over but didn't really read it with the same lens that Chris Stone was discussing 6440, 6490, their utilities that they have to avoid U3 halts, right? And the Uniform Practice Code Committee. So also on February 6, 2024. Now, February 6, 2025, yesterday, and I have no idea, like this is so weird when you look at it, but I was going back and working on something late last night, a deliverable, and wanted to make sure that I was quoting appropriately. And I went back and looked specifically at Robert Cook's letter back on January 31st, 2024, back to Ralph Norman and Pete Sessions and the 74 members. And there's a footnote that I totally glanced over. Everybody just glances over the footnotes, and that's often where the details, the very, very, very important details are. And then I reference back to the FAQ, the supplemental FAQ in November of 2024, and or I'm sorry, 2023, and I see it there again. And I don't know what I was thinking when I read that the first 10 times, but I did not put it together. But FINRA openly admitted to something in the FAQ, and no one has called it out, including myself. And it is big. It is absolutely huge. We all know they went from saying, oh, we have no idea how many shorts exist in the first FAQ, right? But basically referenced it as a nominal amount, not a significant or concerning amount of open short positions, but they acknowledged that they existed. Then in November, right, 8 months later, then they acknowledged 2.65 million. But they also say that, and I'm driving, so I'm not going to misquote it because I'm sure someone will clip it. But they admit that they can't know. They elaborate on they can't know portion of it in the response, but they can't know how many shorts exist. And the bottom line is because on December 8th, because of the settlement issue that they created, by the way, with the change of the corporate action dates, but because of the settlement issue, December 8th was not subject to CNS. That's continuous net settlement. The last day of trading was not subject to continuous net settlement. It did not clear through the NSCC. They don't say anything about every day prior, but them not included, literally, blatantly calling out that the reason that the FTDs cannot be reported on the 12th is because the 8th was not settled through CNS. So let me tell you what that means. That means that either A, they're unsettled, obviously, but that means they were subject to a completely different type of clearance and settlement. X clearing. Does anyone know what X clearing is? Anyone? That is not just broker to broker, that's broker to broker settlement off the books with no central clearing through the DTCC, which makes a whole lot of sense when you consider the details that we knew thereafter the halt, that the DTCC was a willing participant, but FINRA ghosted the meeting. FINRA, who's responsible for governing and oversight of their broker member firms. We already know the liabilities are sitting at all the broker dealers, and we also know that they all are sitting with Contras, but the important part is none of those are reconciled. None of them. And they told you that because they're not subject to CNS. So they don't have FTDs for the last day of trading, where there's 9 million. And by the way, because of the settlement calendar, they're admitting to much more than what they're just admitting to on the surface. And they're not acknowledging how they were cleared on a firm level basis throughout the trading of MMTLP. So there is a literally I won't reveal what happens next, but they admitted a lot without having to say any more than what they did. They kind of snuck in I think a provision that makes them, say, well, we did tell the truth. We just didn't tell the whole truth. So anyway, it's another very important puzzle piece. It's something that we've had mixed messages on. It makes sense why we've had mixed messages on this, because there was mixed settlement and clearance processes, likely on a broker level basis. But let me just break it down very quickly, because I know Glass Guy's got to go to work. The contras that exist.
I'll go in late. Go on.
Well, the contras that exist, everybody has put together relatively early on, but the counterparties that they share are not completely at random. They're not random. These are not, if anybody just thinks that each broker dealer just randomly decided to create a separate identifier and it just so happens that some of those broker dealers happen to have the same randomly created identifier, you're ridiculous. It's absolutely intentional. And we knew that they had common counterparties. But now take into account that you know that they were subject to X clearing. That means those are the entities that have the same pools of shares that are going to be responsible for transactions being settled and cleared, which are still not resolved today. So FINRA simply, if they just went and reviewed the individual broker dealers like we've been advocating for all along, they sidestep in the language in the responses back in the congressional letter, they sidestep to say that they don't have accounting capability, that what we're asking for is basically unreasonable and there's no utility to do it, which is completely false. Their audit provision gives them that capability, and it's a normal recurring exercise. And oh, by the way, the SEC, FINRA, I don't know, over 50,000 letters to Congress, the continuous outreach, the multiple FAQs. I think they have justification to conduct that audit, yet they refuse. I wonder why. I wonder why. We all know the answer. That part is obvious, and it has been obvious all along. But what I glazed over is they openly admitted on December 8th, the last day of trading, that none of those trades were subject to continuous net settlement. That means it's manual reporting by the broker dealer if they would have a failure to deliver. And what would obligate them to deliver in the first place because they halted it? Nothing. Nothing would. That's the answer. Nothing would. So anyway, going to get a little bit more color and detail around this, but it's very, very, very important. I cannot overstate the importance of this. So anyway, cannot encourage everybody enough. It's not just lip service. Go back and reread the same resources, the same information, and my God, pay attention to the footnotes.
Well, damn. Thanks, Kurtis. You always come in with all this fluff. Love it.
I actually had somebody sitting next to me that read everything to me because I am illiterate and I do not know how to read. So that's probably why I glazed over it, because it all just looks like hieroglyphics to me. But
yeah, isn't it funny how you go back and look at something with new eyes and it's like, holy shit, how did I miss that? It was there the whole time.
I read the
That's
response
awesome.
that I wrote, and I'm like, I was obviously asleep when I read it and gaslit by question. If you want to go back to the supplemental FAQ, go to question 15 in FINRA's FAQ. And I was so focused on their gaslighting in the first 3 sentences of that FAQ question, where they're saying, we're not really sure what you mean by what these retailers mean by counterfeit, but we think they're meaning the naked short selling. I don't know. It's so I was so fucking gaslit by that I didn't even read the details thereafter, or it didn't feel significant, because they're basically pretending that naked short selling doesn't exist, and they don't really care. They don't want to associate the names that we associate with it. But anyway, they admit to a lot there, a whole lot. And they also, what they do not say, they imply, because they don't want you to ask, but what they do not say is how it was cleared through the other remaining however many days it traded from October 6th to December 7th, 2022. October 6th, 2021 to December 7th, 2022.
Wow.
So, anyway.
Go ahead, Vader. And I gotta go.
And that's why they call him Big Balls. But no, seriously, so the shills have been telling us all along that we have all the answers we need, that they're in the FINRA FAQs. So how did we actually believe that they were actually telling the truth for once? So maybe the answer was there. I wasn't an expert trader by any stretch on December 8th, but I've gained a lot of knowledge since then. But I can tell you one thing that stood out to me on December 8th was nothing was going the way it should have went. 9 million short shares. The price dropped, what was it, 69%, I think, on that last day. So, God love big balls. Thanks, Curtis.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
think
Curtis.
there's more in that paragraph that everybody needs to read because it is so important. There's one last sentence, and then we'll not keep you from being late. But this is the important excerpt. Let me read the entirety of it. It says, FINRA has found no evidence that there was significant naked short selling in MMTLP at the end of its trading, which appears to. Do you read the lawyer context and wordsmithing? FINRA has found no evidence that there was significant naked short selling in MMTLP at the end of its trading. Not that there was no significant naked short selling of MMTLP, but at the end of its trading. That's called a qualifier, folks, which appears to run counter to the social media claim regarding counterfeit shares. This is the very important part. The SEC did not publish FTD data for MMTLP for December 12th because transactions in MMTLP executed on the last day of its trading, December 8th, were not cleared through CNS. That's continuous net settlement. However, FTDs as of December 9th were very low, 215,238 shares. In addition, while CNS FTD data is not available for transactions in MMTLP due to settle on December 12th, FINRA estimates that a very small number, 0.03%, of MMTLP's total shares outstanding of the short positions in MMTLP as of December 12th would have potentially resulted in FTDs. So they're guessing. And then the most important last piece, which flies in the face of what they are trying to do, which is say that they can't conduct a share count. They say in the last sentence of that paragraph, broker dealers had stock borrows or margin securities available to cover almost 100% of the open short positions. Now, how would they know that? They don't even have the available data because it's X clearing to determine the number of FTDs on the last day. That's why they had to create an estimate. But they're going to say, well, they have all the shares available to conduct a borrow and to fulfill a short position on the last day. Oh, wait, you mean with the counterfeits that you're not going to calculate because you're doing a trust me, bro, from the broker dealers? What? What? Does everybody understand? Like that they all things cannot be true. And by the way, if they were true, then you have already conducted the share count. Come on. They are so in a corner. I mean, they've been in a corner and I don't know how many different other ways, but they are so in a corner with their language that they used and what they're saying. And the subtext is so fucking thick here. I don't know how they get out of this. I really do not. And oh, by the way, refer back to Johnny Tobacco's open borrows, not fulfilled, not closed on the last day and on December 8th. 2022, the last day of trading, 15 million shares. Over 15 million shares were borrowed. The trading volume on every metric that you can look at is 13.7 million. Ironically, well after the halt, at least over a year after the halt, Charles Schwab reflects 15.7 million. We have, or I'm sorry, 15.9 million trading, an extra 2.2 million in trading. It's interesting. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch these people squirm under oath. I cannot wait.
I gotta go, guys. Thanks, Kurtis.
See ya. Have a great day.
Way to mic drop that thing, man. Have a good one.